Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You already know what time it is. We're diving headfirst into another story that's got more twists than a bag of curly fries. Today's case, the one and only Sherri Papini, the California mom who faked her own kidnapping in a story so wild, Hollywood wouldn't dare touch it. But now years later, she's back with a brand new version of events, because of course she is, and a shiny new documentary called Sherri Papini, Caught in the Lie. We'll unravel the mystery, explore the shocking details, and see how this unbelievable saga unfolded. Let's get into it. So, rewind to November 2nd, 2016. Sherri Papini goes out for a jog near her home in Redding, California, and vanishes. Literally, just gone. Her husband Keith comes home, can't find her, and uses Find My iPhone to locate her phone and headphones abandoned on a trail, still playing music. The internet loses its mind. Media coverage goes nuts. People are passing out flyers and lighting candles. Everyone's thinking, this sweet, blonde, 30-something mom has clearly been kidnapped. And then bam, 22 days later, on Thanksgiving morning, Sherri is found on the side of the highway, beaten up, bruised, and with a chain around her waist. She's got a brand on her shoulder, a busted up nose, and her hair chopped off. She tells police she was kidnapped and held hostage by two Hispanic women wearing masks, speaking Spanish, and playing mariachi music. Not kidding. That was in the police report. But here's where it all starts to fall apart. Over the next few weeks, the FBI investigates and keeps hitting dead ends until they find male DNA on her clothes and on her body. Not Hispanic women. One guy. They trace the DNA to James Reyes, her ex-boyfriend, who tells investigators that Sherri wasn't kidnapped at all. She had asked him to pick her up and let her hide out at his apartment in Costa Mesa. He literally bought her food, let her stay in the bedroom while he slept on the couch, and helped her self-inflict some of those injuries to sell the story. The best part, he even passed a polygraph. And guess what else? She wasn't locked up. She had access to a phone, was jogging outside, and even sent letters to her husband during her kidnapping, all while the whole country was praying for her safe return. So now the whole thing's unraveling. In 2022, Sherri is finally charged with making false statements and mail fraud. She pleads guilty, is sentenced to 18 months in prison, and is ordered to pay over $300,000 in restitution for wasting federal resources and victim assistance funds. Her husband Keith files for divorce and gets custody of their two kids. Sherri goes to prison, disappears from the public eye until now. Because in true narcissist fashion, she's back with a new narrative. The 2025 docuseries Caught in the Lie on ID, and Max features her first sit-down interview since being released from prison. And get this, she now claims she was actually the victim. That James Reyes didn't just help her hide out. He kidnapped her, abused her, and branded her like cattle. She says she lied to police because she was afraid that if she told the truth, she'd lose custody of her kids due to a post-nup agreement she signed with Keith. That agreement supposedly said that if she cheated or left, she'd lose the kids. So basically, her new claim is, I had to fake being kidnapped so I could protect my kids from my own terrible decisions, which frankly is about as convincing as a dog eating your homework and then mailing it to your ex-boyfriend's apartment. Meanwhile, James Reyes sticks to his story. He says Sherri came willingly, stayed in his apartment, and absolutely was not abused. He passed a polygraph again. Sherri also took one, and the results were almost the same. Although the polygrapher says she was telling the truth during certain answers, he still claimed that she wasn't a truthful person. She's trying to spin this like she was manipulated, pressured, or cornered into the hoax. But literally no one, not her ex, not the police, not even her own mother, is backing her up on this new version of events. The docuseries dives deep into all of this, showing interviews with family, law enforcement, legal experts, and even Sherri's former friends. There are clips of her in interrogation rooms flat out lying, clips of James Reyes explaining his side, and even testimony from people who say she had a long history of pathological lying, attention-seeking, and dramatic behavior. One bombshell, apparently even back in high school, Sherri was known for making up wild stories to get sympathy and attention. One classmate said she always had to be the center of attention. Nothing's changed. At this point, the public is torn. Some people are buying her redemption arc and saying she deserves a second chance. Others are like, girl, you faked a whole kidnapping, cost taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars, and wasted law enforcement time during an era where real women were actually being trafficked and murdered. Let's be honest, this documentary isn't really about the truth. It's about Sherri trying to salvage her image. And while it's juicy to watch, it's also kind of sad. Sad for the people who supported her, sad for her kids who will grow up knowing their mom made headlines as America's biggest con woman, and sad for every actual victim of violence who was sidelined while Sherri played pretend. So, what do you think? Is Sherri Papini just a pathological liar who got caught? Or is there actually more to this story than meets the eye? Are we witnessing a woman unraveling or a woman rewriting the script? Again, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to comment, and worry and say sorry. For more horror, or true crime stories. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit like if you love a good true crime mess, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll be back soon with another twisted tale that'll leave your jaw on the floor. Until then, keep your jogs short, your lies shorter, and your alibis airtight.